Welcome back, everyone, to another remarkable journey into the hidden world of gemstones. Today, we're about to uncover something extraordinary. 10 Gemstones of Immortality. Stones once believed to defy death. However, let me warn you right from the beginning. If you think you already know the most valuable stones on Earth, you may be in for a surprise. Because the gem that takes the #1 spot on this list is not only surrounded by myths of eternal life, it's also worth a price so staggering that it could change the way you look at diamonds forever. Miss this part, and you might overlook an investment that could redefine the gemstone market. For centuries, civilizations have fought wars, carved tombs, and even built empires around these mysterious stones. Each one carries a story of faith, of power, of immortality. And today, you'll discover them all. If this is your first time here on Gemstone Kingdom, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss another journey into the secret history of gems. And here's something I'd love to ask you. If you feel this could be the beginning of something new and exciting, please leave a comment saying "I like this video," so I'll know you're walking this journey with me. Stay until the very end, because the gemstone ranked #1 may surprise you. And who knows, you might already own one without realizing its true power. And if you're busy right now and can't finish the whole video, make sure to save it for later, because this isn't just a countdown. It's an adventure into the forgotten legends of immortality, and I promise you, these are stones you've never seen in quite this way before. So are you ready? Let's begin our journey through the 10 Gemstones of Immortality. Rank 10. Obsidian, the stone of eternal protection. Born from the fiery heart of volcanoes, obsidian emerges as a black mirror, glossy, sharp, and mysterious. For ancient civilizations, this was far more than volcanic glass. It was a shield of immortality, a talisman believed to guard the soul against death itself. The Aztecs and Maya saw obsidian as a gateway between worlds. In the polished surface of obsidian mirrors, priests believed they could communicate with ancestors, glimpse the realm of spirits, and even search for a path beyond mortality. This belief turned obsidian into an object of fierce desire and conflict. Across the trade routes of Mesoamerica, obsidian was exchanged for gold, blood, and power. Tribes that controlled the rarest obsidian mines were thought to hold the amulet of eternal protection for their entire people. Archaeologists have uncovered obsidian artifacts placed on the chests of the dead, guiding their souls with a mirror of eternity into the afterlife. Obsidian's legend didn't end in the New World. In medieval Europe, it was called the Witch's Mirror. Alchemists and magicians believed that gazing into its depths revealed truths beyond human limits. Historical records tell of John Dee, advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, who owned a black obsidian mirror and claimed to use it in his search for eternal knowledge. Through such tales, obsidian became one of the stones most closely tied to humanity's longing for immortality. Why does obsidian earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it reflects the timeless human desire to defy death. When a volcanic stone is entrusted with the power to guide souls, it reveals not only the Earth's geology, but also the universal yearning to live forever. If you're surprised that a volcanic glass once carried the weight of eternal protection, leave a comment below. Do you believe obsidian truly holds an energy beyond our understanding? And before we move on to the next stone, let me leave you with a question. In 2026, which gemstone do you think could surpass even diamond to become the ultimate symbol of immortality? Share your thoughts, not just here, but also in gemstone communities on Facebook and Reddit. Your voice might spark the most significant debate yet about the timeless stones of immortality in our modern age. Rank 9. Hematite, blood of the earth. At first glance, hematite may appear dull, gray, and ordinary, but when struck or polished, it reveals a deep crimson streak, earning its ancient name, Haima, the Greek word for blood. For thousands of years, civilizations believed hematite was not just a mineral, but the lifeblood of the earth itself, a stone that could restore vitality and guard the soul beyond death. In ancient Egypt, hematite was carved into amulets and placed on the bodies of the dead, Priests believed the stone's red essence would renew the blood of the departed, granting them strength to cross into eternity. The tombs of pharaohs reveal hematite scarabs and charms buried near the heart, silent guardians of immortality. The Romans carried hematite into battle, convinced it gave soldiers courage and made them invulnerable. Warriors would rub powdered hematite over their skin, believing the stone's blood-red spirit could fuse with their own veins, protecting them from mortal wounds. Entire mines in regions like Spain and England became centers of power, fought over not only for iron, but for this mystical promise of eternal life. Even further east in Mesopotamia, hematite cylinders were engraved with sacred seals. These objects were more than symbols of authority. They were believed to channel divine life force, ensuring rulers would never truly die but live on through their spirit infused in stone. So why does hematite earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it embodies the eternal link between blood and life. Civilizations across the globe, unconnected by language or culture, all saw in hematite the same truth. To command the blood was to command existence itself, and if the stone truly carried the earth's eternal blood, then to possess it was to drink from the well of immortality. If this surprises you, that a simple gray ore could inspire such powerful faith in everlasting life, leave a comment below. Do you think hematite is only iron ore, or could it carry a deeper, hidden energy tied to life itself? And before we reveal the next gemstone, I leave you with a question. If blood is the key to life, could there be another stone in 2026 that surpasses even hematite as the ultimate guardian of vitality? Share your thoughts, not just here on YouTube, but in gemstone forums, on Facebook, and across Reddit. Your answer might ignite the next great debate about the stones that humanity once believed could defy death. Rank 8. Carnelian, the vital flame. Glowing with shades of fiery orange and deep crimson, carnelian has long been seen as more than a stone. To the ancients, it was the flame of vitality, a gemstone believed to preserve life force and protect the soul from the grasp of death. Its warm hue was thought to embody the eternal fire of the spirit, one that could never be extinguished. In ancient Egypt, carnelian was revered as the setting sun. Priests carved it into amulets and placed them in tombs, convinced that its fiery glow would guide the dead through the darkness of the underworld. The Book of the Dead even prescribes carnelian talismans to ensure safe passage into immortality, protecting the soul from enemies and shadows beyond the grave. Pharaohs and high priests wore carnelian rings not just as ornaments, but as seals of divine life, meant to tether them to eternity. The stone's journey didn't stop in Egypt. In Mesopotamia, warriors carried carnelian into battle, believing it would strengthen their hearts and keep their spirits unbroken. It was seen as a living ember of courage, a fragment of the sun's eternal fire. In India, carnelian was associated with the life-giving power of blood. Ayurvedic healers believed it could balance energy, strengthen vitality, and ensure longevity. From east to west, cultures converged on the same belief. Carnelian kept the flame of life burning, but such a belief also led to obsession. Across trade routes from the Indus Valley to Rome, carnelian became one of the most sought-after stones. Merchants guarded it fiercely, temples hoarded it, and emperors adorned themselves with it. To hold carnelian was to have not just beauty, but a spark of immortality. Why does carnelian earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it represents humanity's eternal struggle against the fading of life's flame. Civilizations saw in its fiery glow the promise that even as the body decays, the spirit can endure, glowing forever like an ember that refuses to die. If you find it surprising that this fiery stone was once trusted to guard souls against death, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe a gemstone can truly carry the power of vitality? And before we move on to the next stone, here's a question for you. If carnelian's fire symbolized eternal life, which gemstone in 2026 do you believe could ignite the same passion, perhaps even surpassing it as the flame of immortality? Share your answer, not just here, but across gemstone groups on Facebook and Reddit. Your perspective might fuel the next great debate on the immortal stones of history. Rank 7. Jadeite, the Stone of Immortal Harmony. From the misty mountains of Myanmar to the imperial courts of China, Jadeite has always been more than a gemstone. Its vibrant green glow carried a promise, not of wealth alone, but of immortality itself. For over 2 millennia, emperors, shamans, and entire dynasties believed that Jadeite held the secret to eternal harmony between the body, spirit, and the afterlife. In China, Jadeite was called the Stone of Heaven. Emperors were buried in suits made entirely of jade tiles, sewn together with golden thread, in the belief that jade could preserve the body from decay and grant the soul safe passage into eternity. Archaeologists uncovering these tombs often found jadeite amulets resting on the tongue, known as jade cicadas, symbols of rebirth, transformation, and the soul's undying essence. The pursuit of jadeite sparked journeys and bloodshed. During the Qing dynasty, caravans braved treacherous terrain to transport jadeite from Myanmar's mines into China, where it became a treasure more valuable than gold. Rival kingdoms waged wars over deposits, convinced that controlling jadeite meant controlling the key to immortality itself. For centuries, emperors hoarded the finest stones, their courts shimmering with the glow of what they believed to be a divine material. But jadeite's legend spread beyond Asia. In Mesoamerica, the Maya and Olmec carved jadeite into masks and offerings to their gods. To them, jade embodied the life force of maize and the eternal cycles of nature. In both the East and the West, jadeite was associated with renewal, rebirth, and eternal balance. Across cultures separated by oceans, one message remained the same. Jadeite was not of the earth alone, it was of eternity. Why does jadeite earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because no other stone has been so deeply entwined with humanity's dream of transcending death. Jadeite was not worn for vanity. It was buried with kings, fought over by empires, and trusted as a vessel for the soul's eternal journey. Its presence in tombs and temples alike speaks of a universal conviction. To wear jade was to align with the infinite harmony of the cosmos. If you're astonished that a green stone once held the promise of everlasting life, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe jadeite carries a power beyond its beauty? Perhaps even a hidden key to immortality? And before we step into the next chapter of this countdown, I'll leave you with this question. If jadeite once rivaled gold as the stone of eternal harmony, which gemstone in 2026 could rise to challenge its legacy? Share your view, not only here, but in gemstone communities on Facebook and Reddit. Your insight could spark the next great debate on the stones humanity once trusted to defy death. Rank 6. Amber. Time frozen in gold. Long before humans discovered metal or carved gemstones, they found amber, a golden treasure born not from the Earth's core, but from ancient forests. Hardened tree resin, crystallized over millions of years, amber carried with it something no other stone could: the power to trap life itself. For countless civilizations, amber has become a symbol of immortality, a stone that is said to freeze time and defy death. Imagine holding in your hand an insect, a leaf, or even a drop of dew, preserved inside amber for 100 million years, unchanged, untouched by decay. To the ancients, this was proof that amber did not simply endure, it captured the essence of eternity. The Greeks called it electron, believing it contained the spark of the sun. In their myths, amber was said to be the tears of the Heliades, sisters who wept forever after the death of their brother Phaethon. Each tear hardened into amber, a reminder that grief, like memory, can live forever. In Egypt, amber was placed in tombs as an amulet of protection, believed to preserve the body and soul from corruption. The Etruscans believed amber carried the breath of the gods, and along the fabled Amber Road, a trade route stretching from the Baltic Sea to Rome, caravans risked their lives to bring this golden light to emperors and nobles, who wore it not only for adornment, but for eternal vitality. Amber's mystique spread worldwide. In China, it was called the soul of the tiger, believed to preserve the spirit of warriors. In the Viking sagas, amber was known as Freya's tears, a gift from the goddess of love, ensuring that beauty and life could endure even in death. Each culture saw in amber the same truth, A stone that could capture time itself might also capture the essence of immortality. But amber was more than a symbol. For centuries, people believed powdered amber could heal disease, cure wounds, and strengthen the heart. Some even consumed it as an elixir of life. The belief that amber held the sun's eternal energy made it one of the most mystical substances of antiquity. So why does amber earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it embodies the dream of halting time. Where other stones symbolize strength or protection, amber showed something more extraordinary, that life itself, once lost, could be preserved. To the ancients, this was immortality made visible. If you find it astonishing that a simple golden resin was once trusted to guard against death, leave a comment below. Do you believe amber truly carries the secret of eternal life, or is it only nature's memory preserved in stone? And before we move to the next chapter, here's a question. If amber could trap time forever, which gemstone in 2026 do you believe might hold the same timeless power, perhaps even greater? Share your answer, not just here on YouTube, but also in gemstone groups on Facebook and Reddit. Your insight could spark a great conversation about the stones humanity once believed could defy death. Rank 5. Pearls. Tears of Immortality. Among all gemstones, pearls stand apart. They are not carved from the earth or born of fire, but created within the heart of living creatures. Their origin alone made ancient civilizations believe that pearls were gifts from the divine, tears of the gods that carried the promise of immortality. In Hindu mythology, pearls are said to be the tears of the moon, which were dropped into the ocean and gathered by the gods. In ancient China, pearls were often regarded as symbols of wisdom and eternal life. Legends spoke of dragons guarding the flaming pearl, a jewel that could grant immortality to anyone who possessed it. Even emperors sought to drink crushed pearls mixed with elixirs, believing they could extend their lives beyond mortal limits. The Romans saw pearls as the ultimate symbol of eternity. Cleopatra, determined to prove Egypt's supremacy, dissolved a priceless pearl in vinegar and drank it, a gesture not of vanity, but of defiance, declaring that she held immortality in her grasp. In medieval Europe, pearls were sewn into funeral garments and placed with the dead as a form of sacred protection, believed to purify the soul and ensure it would never perish. But this faith was not only symbolic. Across the Silk Road and Indian Ocean trade routes, kingdoms fought for control of pearl fisheries. Divers risked their lives in perilous waters to bring forth these treasures. To possess pearls was to have not just wealth, but the very essence of eternity. Wars were waged, fortunes made and lost, all for stones that shimmered with the tears of gods. Pearls also carried a deeply personal meaning. In Japan, warriors wore them as charms for long life. In Polynesia, pearls were believed to be gifts of the ocean, promising that those who wore them would never be forgotten, even in death. Across continents, across cultures, the message remained constant. Pearls were eternal. Why do pearls earn their place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because unlike any other stone, they are born from life itself, a living organism shaping a perfect sphere of light. To ancient eyes, this was not just a jewel. It was proof that the divine could create perfection on earth, and that perfection might carry the key to immortality. If you're astonished that something as delicate as a pearl once carried the weight of eternal life, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe pearls truly hold a sacred power, or are they simply nature's most beautiful accident? And before we move forward, I leave you with a question. If pearls were once seen as the tears of immortality, which gemstone in 2026 could become the new symbol of eternity? Share your ideas here and spread the conversation in gemstone communities on Facebook and Reddit. Your voice might spark the next great debate about the immortal stones of our age. Rank 4. Shungite, the stone that purifies life. In the remote lands of Karelia, Russia, lies a black stone unlike any other, Shungite. At first glance, it seems ordinary, a dark rock pulled from ancient earth. But for centuries, people have believed it holds extraordinary power, the ability to purify life itself, to cleanse the body and protect the soul from death. Russian folklore describes Shungite as a stone of life. Legends say that Peter the Great himself discovered its mysterious strength when he ordered his soldiers to drink water purified by Shungite, those who survived epidemics that claimed thousands of lives. From that moment, Shungite became more than a mineral. It was seen as a shield of immortality. Science later revealed that Shungite contains unique carbon molecules called fullerenes, capable of filtering toxins. To ancient eyes, this ability to cleanse water and heal disease could only mean one thing: a stone blessed by eternity itself. Villages in Karelia treated Shungite springs as sacred wells, believing the water could restore youth, cure illnesses, and preserve life against the ravages of time. The pursuit of Shungite sparked journeys and conflict. Nobles and rulers sought to control the quarries, convinced they were holding the key to everlasting strength. Healers ground it into powders for elixirs. Shamans wore it as an amulet, certain that it absorbed negative energy and carried the spirit safely beyond death. In every form, Shungite was trusted as the ultimate purifier of body, mind, and soul. Beyond Russia, its legends spread. In modern metaphysical traditions, Shungite is still referred to as a miracle stone, believed to block harmful forces and shield life from decay. It is said to balance energy, protect against unseen dangers, and grant resilience that borders on immortality. Unlike gemstones that dazzled with beauty, Shungite's power lay in its simplicity: dark, unassuming, but eternal. Why does Shungite earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it represents the most primal hope of humanity: to cleanse away death itself. Where others sought eternal youth in fire or light, Shungite promised it through purity. To the ancients, every sip of Shungite water, every talisman carved from its black surface was a step closer to escaping mortality. If you find it surprising that a simple black stone could inspire faith in immortality, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Shungite truly carries powers beyond science, or is its immortality only a story we tell ourselves? And before we unveil the next gemstone, I'll leave you with this question. If purification was once seen as the key to eternal life, which gemstone in 2026 could take up that role, perhaps surpassing even Shungite as humanity's eternal shield? Share your answer here and spread the debate in gemstone forums, Facebook groups, and Reddit. Your insight may spark a great conversation about the immortal stones of our age. Rank 3. Lapis Lazuli, Gateway to the Afterlife. From the deep mountains of Afghanistan to the golden temples of Egypt, few stones have carried such mystery and reverence as Lapis Lazuli. Its dazzling blue, flecked with golden pyrite, was unlike anything else on Earth. To the ancients, this was not simply a mineral. It was the sky made solid, a bridge to eternity, the gemstone that opened the gateway to the afterlife. In ancient Mesopotamia, Lapis Lazuli was carved into royal seals and statues of gods. Kings believed it connected them directly to the divine, ensuring their names and power would never fade. In the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh, the goddess Inanna is adorned with lapis, a symbol of immortality and divine authority. To wear it was to claim a bond with the eternal. But nowhere did lapis shine brighter than in Egypt. The pharaohs revered it as the stone of rebirth. Powdered lapis was used in funerary paints and cosmetics. The famous blue eye shadow of Cleopatra was not mere vanity, but a ritual invocation of divine protection. More powerfully, lapis lazuli was laid into the golden death masks of kings, including the legendary mask of Tutankhamun. Its purpose was clear: to guide the pharaoh's soul through death and into eternal life. The pursuit of lapis sparked journeys across deserts and mountains. The only ancient source, the mines of Badakhshan, Afghanistan, became one of the most coveted trade routes in history. Caravans braved perilous terrain to deliver this stone of heaven to temples and palaces. Wars were fought to control its flow, because holding lapis was believed to be a piece of immortality itself. Even in medieval Europe, lapis was prized not only for its beauty, but also for its faith. Ground into ultramarine pigment, it was used to paint the robes of the Virgin Mary in Renaissance art, symbolizing purity and eternal grace. The blue that adorned holy icons was not just color, it was the eternal sky itself, captured in stone. Why does lapis lazuli earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? because across cultures and continents, it was never seen as just a jewel. It was a doorway, a promise that death was not an end, but a passage. To the ancients, lapis was proof that the eternal sky could be carried in one's hand, a fragment of heaven guiding the soul beyond the grave. If you're amazed that a single blue stone could inspire such devotion, leave a comment below. Do you believe lapis lazuli truly holds a gateway to the eternal? Or is it only humanity's dream projected onto stone? And before we step into the next chapter of this countdown, here's a question. If lapis lazuli once symbolized the eternal sky, which gemstone in 2026 could rise as the new bridge between life and the afterlife? Share your thoughts here and continue the debate in gemstone communities on Facebook and Reddit. Your voice might spark the following great discussion about humanity's timeless search for immortality. Rank 2. Chrysoberyl cat's eye, the watcher beyond death. In the flicker of light, a single band of brilliance runs across the surface of this gemstone, resembling the pupil of a vigilant eye. This is the phenomenon of chatoyancy, and in chrysoberyl cat's eye, it gave rise to one of the most potent symbols of immortality in human history, the ever-watchful eye that never sleeps, even beyond death. In India, chrysoberyl cat's eye was revered as Lasunia, the gem of destiny. Ancient texts claimed it could ward off evil spirits, neutralize curses, and protect the soul from wandering after death. To wear it was to walk under the protection of an eternal guardian, a stone whose eye would never close. Kings and warriors carried it into battle, believing it granted foresight and shielded them from untimely death. The stone's legend grew through obsession. Wealthy rulers competed for the finest specimens, those with the sharpest line of light, which they saw as the mark of divine vigilance. Temples preserved cat's eye gems as sacred offerings, convinced they could watch over entire communities, ensuring longevity and collective safety from misfortune. But a cat's eye was not only a talisman of protection, it was also tied to rebirth. In Hindu beliefs, the gem was connected to Ketu, the shadow planet of karmic cycles. This link made chrysoberyl cat's eye a stone of liberation, promising freedom from endless reincarnation and guiding the soul beyond the wheel of life and death into eternal peace. In this way, the cat's eye was not only a watcher, but a liberator. Beyond India, its mystique spread along trade routes. In Sri Lanka, the world's most prized cat's eye stones were mined, fueling a market of mystics, merchants, and monarchs. European collectors in the 19th century referred to it as the gem of immortality, captivated by its living gaze. For many, owning a cat's eye meant holding an eternal companion, a presence that would protect and endure long after the body had passed. Why does chrysoberyl cat's eye earn its place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it embodies the eternal truth that to be remembered, to be watched over, is never truly to die. The cat's eye was seen as the ever-living witness, a stone that promised the soul would never be lost to darkness, but guided, protected, and preserved for eternity. If you're astonished that a single gleaming line of light once symbolized humanity's escape from death, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the cat's eye gem truly holds a protective force, or is it simply nature's illusion of light? And as we prepare to unveil the #1 gemstone of immortality, I'll leave you with this question. If the cat's eye once guarded souls beyond death, which gemstone in 2026 could surpass even its eternal gaze to become humanity's ultimate stone of immortality? Share your ideas here and carry the conversation to gemstone forums, Facebook groups, and Reddit. Your answer may shape the next great debate on humanity's timeless quest to defy death. Rank 1. Philosopher's Emerald, the eternal stone of alchemists. For centuries, philosophers, rulers, and seekers of the arcane have pursued one dream above all others, the conquest of death. At the heart of this pursuit stood a single mythical stone, the emerald. Not just any emerald, but the philosopher's emerald, believed by alchemists to hold the secret of the elixir of life and the promise of true immortality. Emeralds were already celebrated in antiquity. Cleopatra treasured them as symbols of eternal youth. In India, Emeralds were often engraved with sacred texts, believed to preserve wisdom for eternity. However, in medieval Europe, the stone's legend transformed. Alchemists whispered of a mythical emerald tablet inscribed with the secrets of creation, the Tabula Smaragdina. Within its cryptic lines lay the formula for eternal life. To possess the philosopher's emerald was to hold the very key to conquering time. This belief drove centuries of obsession. Alchemists from Paracelsus to Isaac Newton scoured texts, searched minds, and experimented endlessly, convinced that the emerald could unlock the transformation of base metals into gold and of mortal flesh into something everlasting. The emerald was no longer just a gem, it was a symbol of power. It became a vessel of divine truth, a bridge between matter and eternity. Kings and emperors joined the chase. In Europe, rulers funded expeditions to distant lands, desperate to secure emeralds that might grant them eternal power. In Latin America, Spanish conquistadors plundered vast emerald treasures from the Muzo mines, believing they held the very stones of immortality sought by the Old World for generations. Wars were waged, empires rose and fell, all under the shadow of a single green gem that promised to defy death itself. Even in myth, the emerald was tied to eternal cycles. Legends claim that the Holy Grail was carved from a single emerald that fell from Lucifer's crown. In Islamic tradition, paradise itself was said to rest on emerald pillars. Everywhere it appeared, emerald was more than precious. It was immortal. Why does the philosopher's emerald take the #1 place among the 10 gemstones of immortality? Because it embodies humanity's ultimate quest, not just protection, not just preservation, but transformation. It is the stone of eternal becoming, the promise that mortal life can be transmuted into something undying. No other gem in history carried such weight, sparking centuries of devotion, conquest, and hope. If you're stunned that a single green stone once stood at the center of humanity's battle against death, share your thoughts below. Do you believe the emerald holds secrets we have yet to uncover, or is immortality forever beyond our reach? And now, as our journey through the 10 gemstones of immortality closes, I'll leave you with one final question. In 2026, which gemstone do you think will rise as the modern symbol of eternity, surpassing even the emerald in our imagination? Share your answer here and spread the debate across gemstone forums, Facebook, and Reddit. Because even today, the search for immortality has never truly ended. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of this journey through the 10 gemstones of immortality. If you enjoyed this adventure, please consider hitting like and subscribing to Gemstone Kingdom. Your support is the biggest motivation for me to keep uncovering more hidden stories from the world of gemstones. And don't go too far, because our journey doesn't stop here. In the next episode, we'll dive even deeper into the hunt for the world's most mysterious and forbidden gemstones. Stones once sought by kings, priests, and explorers in their quest for power and immortality. So if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the bell. That way you'll never miss the next chapter. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next adventure here on Gemstone Kingdom.